All right, everyone, afternoon, morning, wherever you are. Enlighten.net has been a trusted partner of Tribute for many years. They've assisted companies in their digital transformation journeys. Their document management software, ENet Docs, along with their AP automation solution, helps reduce manual tasks and increases efficiency, allowing your employees to focus on profit-building activities. I'd like to hand it over to Mason Graham. He's a sales associate at Enlighten.net who will provide more insights into their solutions and how they can benefit your company.
All right. Hey, everyone. I'm Mason Graham. I'm a sales associate here at Enlighten.net. I want to thank everyone for joining. So I'm going to be walking through a PowerPoint here. Today, we will be discussing your current stage in your digital transformation process and how we can help you guys go paperless. With over 20 years of experience, we've assisted hundreds of companies across North America managing millions of documents. We will dive into our solutions, showing how they can save your company time and money by streamlining processes and boosting efficiency through digital transformation. I'll share insights into our document management solution, ENet Docs, and our accounts payable automation tool, Trapeze, like Jeff had mentioned, which are designed to reduce repetitive manual tasks, enhance productivity, and enable your team to focus on innovation and profit-building activities. To better understand the unique challenges your company might be facing, I'll be asking some poll questions during the webinar. Your responses will help us address your specific needs and show you how Enlighten.net can support your goals as well. I will also be answering a few questions that Jeff will be asking along the way as well. So before we dive into our solutions, let's talk a bit about our clients. We've been working with the Tribute and the TrulinX space for many years now, partnering with numerous companies that use these systems. Here are just a few of the companies we currently collaborate with in the Tribute and TrulinX space. Enlighten.net is also a proud member of several associations, helping many other companies with their digital transformation journeys.
Mason, why do companies need to embrace digital solutions at their company?
Yeah, so companies that continue to rely on paper-based processes often struggle to stay competitive. Over the years, we've identified several key pain points from companies still using paper listed on this slide here. And before we continue, I want to hear from you guys. So please take a moment to answer our first poll question on what your biggest challenge is with paper-based document management. Awesome. So it looks like a lot of you guys had voted for the time-consuming process, so a lot of manual processes. One of our, customers in the past was struggling very heavily with, time-consuming processes. They were manually filing all their transactional documents into filing cabinets, and then, to clear up that filing cabinet space as well, they would then, box up a lot of those documents, put those into a warehouse, which costed them, a lot of warehouse storage. And also, if they needed to retrieve those documents in the future, that just took a whole lot of time as well. In this webinar, I'm going to guide you through how Enlighten.net solutions can help digitally transform your organization so that you can eliminate a lot of these pain points listed here. All right, step one is to eliminate the need for paper with our document management software, ENet Docs. In today's fast-paced business environment, staying competitive requires embracing digital solutions that reduce repetitive manual tasks and increase efficiency to allow your employees to focus on innovation. Paper-based processes are just not capable of keeping up. Every company that uses paper needs an effective document management system. Regardless of your company's size, we are here to help. Having the right information at your fingertips at the right point in time can significantly impact your business. We've had customers in the past come and tell us how much smoother their recent sales audits have gone with the help of ENet Docs and being able to have the information they need instantly at their fingertips. ENet Docs is a browser-based document management software with full text search capabilities and is fully integrated with our automation software. We've had some customers that just utilize ENet Docs as a standalone document management software. We've had others that are utilizing ENet Docs with our signature capture add-on module. And we also have companies that are using ENet Docs with our AP automation tool, Trapeze, which I will also talk about in this webinar. The point I'm trying to make here is that no matter what stage you guys are in your digital transformation, and no matter the size of your company, we can help service your business needs. Let's continue with step one, which is going paperless with ENet Docs. So our approach to document management is very holistic. We manage basically all of the documents that a company utilizes in their business process. There are 5 different ways to publish documents into ENet Docs. You can email, both internal employees can email into the software, forward documents into the software. If you have your invoices, for example, coming into a central mailbox, those can be automatically forwarded into a desired folder in ENet Docs. You can scan into it. It's going to work with any scanner. You can print documents into ENet Docs using a virtual printer that we would configure on your network, very similar to just an employee having the choice of a paper printer. You can use a fax. We can intercept your incoming faxes, route them into the software before they print out anywhere. And then we also have a drag and drop publishing method where we can just set up a shortcut on your desktop, which then allows you to take something, drag and drop it into the desired folder in the ENet Docs as well. No matter how documents come into ENet Docs, we will take each individual document and then turn that into a PDF, which then becomes fully searchable. We are automatically indexing all the text on the document, which then gives you guys the ability to find any document and bring back any document instantly by any text that's within the document. So the key thing here is that there are no templates you would need to set up behind the scenes, no naming or saving documents. There would be no searching by keywords. You can literally bring back a document instantly by any text that's on it. Our software is highly secure. You can determine who has access to certain documents through permissions permitted by an administrator. The most basic level of security is the viewing, who has permission to view a document. And then there are additional layers at the folder level, who can move documents, who has the permission to edit documents, and who can email documents out of the software. You're able to keep your documents in the software forever, or you can also set them to automated retention schedules at any time in the future that's appropriate for your particular business process. You can set up document workflows in the software for any area of your company that requires multiple people to either work on a document or work through a process. In any workflow that you create, you would control the document's path and specify the next steps and who is responsible for those next steps. As documents move through the workflow, automatic email alerts will go out notifying the relevant people, telling them that it's their turn, their step in the part of the workflow as well. Each person will also have the ability to add signatures to the document in any workflow you set up, and you can also make those signatures a requirement as a part of the workflow as well. I want to show you a few more helpful features and functions in action. So I'm actually going to switch over to my demo system real quick. So here you can see our browser-based software, ENet Docs. When documents come into ENet Docs, they're going to be stored in a folder directory structure, as you see here. Most of our customers name these folders with the types of documents that are within the folder, right? For example, you would put your invoices in the invoice folder, freight bills in the freight bills folder. Where ENet Docs becomes really helpful is being able to search by text. So for example, let's say I was looking for a specific part number. I wanted to confirm that the correct parts were billed and shipped. I can type in a part number A1105. I can hit search or enter. That is going to bring back 4 documents that contain that specific part number. When I click on my first one here, ENet Docs is going to highlight where that specific part number comes up on the document, and it's also going to tell me how many times that specific part number is going to show up on the document as well. So here you can see immediately how this will benefit you being able to find documents quickly and just be able to speed up a lot of those business processes for you. Let's say I wanted to take it further. Let's say I wanted to find when I shipped this specific part number to, one of my customers, Peterson. I would literally just go ahead and type in Peterson after the part number here. And that would only bring back one result. I click on that document here. And again, ENet Docs is going to tell me the specific part number, A1105, that has been billed to Peterson and shipped to Peterson. I now want to show you another helpful tool in ENet Docs called our compare feature. I'm going to exit out of my search here. I'm going to type in a PO number. I'm going to hit search or enter. And that's going to bring up all of the documents that are related to a particular transaction. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on my PO, my packing list, and my invoice here. And you can see that there have been some actions that have come up on my left-hand side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my compare. And that's going to bring up all 3 of these documents in a side-by-side format here. A lot of our customers use this tool during like an AP process to look at all these documents against each other as a part of like that 3-way match, making sure there are no price discrepancies or quantity issues. A lot of times what our customers will do after they do their 3-way match is complete a merge function, which is in my top right-hand corner. What this is going to do is it's going to stack all 3 of these corresponding documents, one on top of the other. I can go so far as to switch the order of these documents. If, my packing list, if I wanted my packing list to be listed first for my particular process here, I'm able to do that. A lot of times what our customers will do is they will put these in an AP process complete folder, the merged documents here. This is almost like an electronic staple, if you will. So I'm going to go back to my slideshow now to continue with step 2. Alrighty, step 2 in my digital transformation is to eliminate the paper in your warehouse, your shop, or your delivery trucks. With our signature capture for counter sale or deliveries, customers are able to sign for their purchase directly on a device with an internet connection, and then the documents can be automatically stored along with the signature in the proper ENet Docs folder for easy retrieval. So branches will no longer have to scan in paper documents from sales transactions with customer signatures and then wait for them to be processed and approved. They will already be into ENet Docs automatically. Here's how it'll work. What you see here is a screenshot of the customer signature pad. So an employee will request the customer signature to finalize the order, right? This is what the customer will see on their pad. The customer will then sign off on this invoice here. The counter sale attendant or the delivery driver will then see this screen once the customer has signed off on the order, and then send that signed order with the fulfillment signature to the desired folder in ENet Docs. So in this screenshot, I have this order being sent to the signed customer invoice folder in ENet Docs, so that when I go into that folder in ENet Docs, this order with the signature will be in there for me. But to show you how it will look once the order is set in the ENet Docs, this is a screenshot here of the customer order that's been sent into, again, my signed customer invoice folder. You can see that here. Again, I want to mention I would be able to retrieve this document by any text that is on it here. And to get that fulfillment signature, I would be able to see that on my next slide here. This is a screenshot of what that would look like in ENet Docs. And this will be dated and timestamped. Again, another search feature. That concludes step 2 in our digital transformation process. And now I wanted to talk about step 3, which is to automate accounts payable invoices. But before we dive deeper into this step, I want to ask a few more poll questions. The first one being, how many hours a week do you spend processing invoices? And then after that one will be, what is your biggest challenge you face in your current AP process? I'll take a moment and let you guys answer those. Alrighty. So if a lot of you answered, 10 to 20 hours that you're spending each week processing invoices, more than 20, you're definitely going to want to take a look at our AP automation software, just because, we would easily be able to cut that processing time in half. If you guys are having trouble, with any of the manual data entry, late payments as well, our AP automation software would be able to, help solve a lot of those problems for you as well. Just because you would be able to increase a lot of your invoice processing speed. And I will be talking a little bit more in depth in my next couple slides here. So once your company has gone digital and eliminated the need for paper documents, the next step is to automate your accounts payable. As many of you know, accounts payable is a crucial part of your business. One of the key parts of accounts payable is matching up your invoices to your purchase orders to your receipts. When you're doing this process without automation, there's a lot of manual data entry, which obviously takes a lot of time, which then results in errors. Which brings me to my next slide here. Trapeze for invoice processing. So you may have heard of Trapeze before. We partner with the company. Trapeze is a PO-based invoice processing software that does a two-way match, invoice to purchase order. Some of the key benefits to automating your accounts payable with Trapeze is increased speed and visibility over your documents and over your process. You'll be able to improve supplier relationships because you can speed up the processing of those invoices and be able to pay faster and also take advantage of early payment discounts as well. You would also be able to eliminate, the error-driven manual data entry, which is a big problem a lot of companies have. The integration with our document management system, ENet Docs, is critical too, because not only will the invoice be kept in the software, but also any of the related documents to that transaction can be kept safe and secure and retrievable in seconds. You guys saw that earlier when I typed in my PO number to my ENet Docs system. That brought back all the documents that are related to that particular transaction. So let's talk a little bit about the overview. So how it'll work. Most of your invoices likely arrive via email. These invoices can be automatically forwarded to ENet Docs, usually in like an incoming invoice folder. Similarly, if you guys are still receiving invoices on paper, you would be able to just scan those invoices in directly to ENet Docs as well. What will happen is our automation server monitors the folder where these invoices are received and then passes them into Trapeze. What Trapeze will do is it will validate the invoice against the open PO file from TrulinX or Tribute. If it goes through correctly, it gets exported from Trapeze as an XML file through the NTIN through Tribute to then vouch once the receipt is entered. If there is an exception, meaning if Trapeze could not validate something, maybe there is a quantity error, maybe a mismatch, something just isn't quite right, it's then going to go into the exceptions folder in Trapeze to where a human would be required to look and see what needs to be resolved. After each invoice is processed completely, the ENet Docs automation server then grabs the output file from Trapeze. Once the data is validated and matched, and then the invoice will then get moved into a process complete folder and will also get tagged with all the validated data along with the date and the time it was processed in ENet Docs. Alrighty, so I want to show a short video of how this will work. We're going to be looking at the AP automation process with Trapeze. I'm going to act as the AP manager, and you can see in this screenshot here, I have 12 new invoices for me to process in this folder. Go ahead and start this video. As the AP manager, I have gotten an email alert saying there have been new invoices that require my attention through our subscriptions feature in ENet Docs, telling me I need to process them through Trapeze. I can look at these invoices ahead of time. I can use the card view as you see in the video here. This is because there may be other invoices that I would want to manually process. So maybe there was a phone bill, right? These invoices can be processed through an internal workflow in ENet Docs. This is just because Trapeze is only for PO-based invoices. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take these invoices, I'm going to select all of them and do a mass move into my Trapeze folder. Once I have them all selected, you can see the status says ready to move in green. It would be red or unable to move if these were tied up in another workflow or if I didn't have security permission to do so. Once I hit move, it's going to take me back to my results section here. I have the automation server that I had mentioned before set so that it is looking at this Trapeze folder every 90 seconds for the invoices to then go ahead and process through Trapeze. Trapeze is going to be looking at these invoices, comparing it against the open PO file in TrulinX or Tribute, and it's going to be validating all of that data going line by line on the open PO file here. Verifying all that data, including line items on the invoice, whether it's unit cost, tax, rate. If there are multiple pages on the invoice, Trapeze will automatically split up those pages, and they will increase the accuracy of the data extraction through the scripting process, which is something set up behind the scenes once you implement. If everything goes through correctly, it will be exported from Trapeze as an XML file through the NTIN into Tribute or TrulinX. Again, if the receipt is entered already, it's going to go ahead and vouch. And if there is no receipt entered, it will then get put in a suspended folder until the receipt is entered, and it will go ahead and vouch. If there is an exception, meaning if Trapeze couldn't validate something, maybe there is a quantity error, maybe there is a mismatch, something isn't quite right, it's going to go ahead in the exceptions folder in Trapeze to where a human would then be required to look and see what needs to be resolved. Just restarted it by accident. So you can kind of start to see what's happening here. Since everything in ENet Docs happens in real time, I can see where my documents are at any point in the process. You can also see the validated data that is getting tagged onto each document as well. Again, this tagged metadata is also going to become another search feature to retrieve this document in ENet Docs if you needed to in the future. When I hover over that circle with an eye there, I can also see the validated data that has been tagged to my document as well. There are going to be 2 invoices left on my result screen that still say Trapeze processing. So I would then have to go into Trapeze and validate my invoices manually. Which brings me to my next slide here. What you guys are looking at now is the screenshot of the validation screen in Trapeze. I want to briefly walk you through how you would go about validating an invoice. So again, this was an invoice that wasn't processed through correctly in ENet Docs. So I would have to go and validate this manually. On the left-hand side of the screen here is the form that has been filled out off of the invoice that Trapeze has read. And then on the right-hand side is the actual invoice. So as the AP manager and as the validator, I would want to look at some of the header information right off the bat, right? I'd want to look at the invoice number, the date, the PO number. Anytime I'm clicking on any of these fields up here, you can see in this example, I have clicked on the invoice number. It's going to highlight the invoice number on the actual invoice, just so I can make sure that those are correct. Whenever you see green, that tells you that Trapeze is 100% confident in what they had captured. Trapeze will also point you in the direction of what they believe to be an error. And you can see that displayed on the bottom of the page here. Line number is missing on row 2. So in this particular example, what happened was they had captured this shipping information, FedEx ground tracking number, as a line item, which we do not want because we want the freight charges to go into the right GL code when it goes into TrulinX or Tribute. Once you validate the invoice, you would then just hit the approve button here. And just like before, it would get exported into your TrulinX or Tribute system to go ahead and vouch. And then after that, it would be sent back into ENet Docs through the automation server with all the validated data tagged onto that document as well. Something to keep in mind, and you can see in the screenshot here, is that Trapeze will process both types of invoices, whether they are inventory invoices or direct shipment invoices. So one of the important pieces with the direct shipment invoices is to capture that tracking number you see here. Trapeze can do that for you, which is great just because those tracking numbers are just very long and hard to remember, very error-ridden when they need to be manually entered into the system. So that concludes step 3 of our digital transformation, automating your AP invoices.
Hey, Mason, can you talk maybe about a current Tribute or TrulinX user and what they were able to achieve with your solutions?
Yeah, of course. So Hose and Rubber has been one of our customers for many years now. They are a TrulinX customer as well. They are a manufacturer based out of Salt Lake City. They have 6 locations in around 5 different states. So after merging their 2 sister companies, they had 2 different databases, and they needed a way to centralize their business documents and make them accessible to all the stakeholders in the various locations. So their problems with paper processing were that valuable time was wasted looking for essential documents in filing cabinets, printing and attaching them, and then sending them to other locations for approval. Right? That took them a whole bunch of time. They had problems in AP. So their accounting department needed to improve its invoice processing speed because they had 1 full-time person processing invoices manually. And it was very hard to keep up with the demand to the point where, she sometimes had to work overtime. And she also needed, some help from her other team members occasionally as well. Once they implemented ENet Docs, they no longer needed to push paper around the office and from branch to branch with the help of the workflow features. And that allowed stakeholder visibility throughout the organization. With the help of Trapeze, they were able to reduce their invoicing time by 50% without adding any new employees. They were also able to take advantage of 98% of supplier early discounts. And as a result of that, they were able to save around $22,000 in just 1 month being able to take advantage of those vendor discounts. Are there any questions that anyone has? Feel free to shout them out and I'll be happy to help. Feel free to, here's my contact info here. You can shoot me an email, give me a call if you want to ask those questions as well. I want to thank you all for joining me today. I hope this session provided valuable insights into how Enlighten Net can help support your digital transformation journey. Whether you guys are just starting out or looking to optimize your existing processes, our solutions are designed to help you guys make your life easier. Help you guys go paperless, streamline your operations, and boost your efficiency.